Liverpool still benefiting from Michael Edwards' masterstroke weeks after exit. Julian Ward has wasted no time in endearing himself to the Liverpool faithful. The club's new sporting director had already masterminded the arrival of Luis Diaz before Michael Edwards had even left his post. And just weeks after the transfer guru's departure from Anfield, Ward has made the top job his own by constructing Darwin Núñez's blockbuster transfer before next season's fixtures are even put in stone. The move, which will cost the Reds an initial £64.2 million, could yet become their most expensive if the Uruguayan lives up to his sterling reputation. It's an impressive start for Ward, who would have gone into the role fully aware of the sizable task at hand when it came to replacing Edwards. During his 11-year stay at Anfield, Edwards, along with the help of manager Jurgen Klopp, helped transform the Reds from sleeping giants to kings of Europe. His decade in the hot seat saw transfer hit after transfer hit turned Liverpool into a side which in another era would have multiple Premier League titles to their name already. His success stories are a who's who of modern Anfield greats, including, but not limited to, Virgil van Dijk, Alisson Becker, Andy Robertson, Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah. But it wasn't only his ability to bring an array of world-class talent to Merseyside which has earned him a reputation as one of the top negotiators in world football. Throughout his tenure, Liverpool were able to balance the books by continually getting above market value for players leaving the club. And his expertise weren't limited to those players at the top of the market like Luis Suarez and Felipe Coutinho either, with those who were never likely to make the grade also sold for massive fees. Danny Ward had only made 3 first-team appearances when he was shipped to Leicester City for an eye-watering £12.5 million. Dominic Solanke had found the net just once before Bournemouth sanctioned a £19 million bid and Ryan Brewster brought in £23.5 million for a player who hasn't looked Premier League standards since. Have your say. Which transfer was Michael Edwards' best at Liverpool? Let us know in the comments. Kai-Jana Hoever's departure was somewhat more controversial, leaving the club despite being one of their most highly rated youngsters. Hoever had made his senior debut at just 16, and big things were expected of the versatile Dutch defender. That debut came against Wolves and the Molineux outfit were convinced enough to outlay £10 million to sign him in a deal which could reach £13 million with add-ons. But 2 years on and that figure has proven to be yet another masterstroke from Edwards and his team behind the scenes. Now 20, Hoever has failed to ever establish himself, first under Nuno Espirito Santo and then his predecessor Bruno Lage. In fact, such was Lage's dismay at one of his performances last season, he went vocal with his anger. Kai is a good example of the young kids, they want everything to happen now, said Lage after Hoever picked up an injury. When you are out and your teammate is playing, and you are not training at the intensity, you are not preparing yourself and after, when you have a chance, these kinds of things happen. Injuries can happen, but this one happened because he was not prepared because Kai sometimes doesn't work in the same intensity. Lage, publicly at least, moved to quash any suggestions of lingering animosity, but reports from the Netherlands now claim Hoever could be sold during the summer window. Voetbal International claim PSV are interested in bringing him back to the Eredivisie and talks are already underway about a transfer. And any permanent move could yet yield more positive results for Liverpool after negotiating a 15% sell-on fee in the deal which saw him move to the Midlands. It may be small change in the grand scheme of things, but it's a perfect example of the often ignored work that Edwards conducted to ensure the Reds are known as one of the shrewdest operators in the game.